Oh, hello, yes. Another morning video, yes. Hopefully a quick one today. Not too ranty, hopefully. Yes, Amanda Spillman, the head of Ofsted, came out with some statements yesterday, which I thought were interesting from a kind of I'm one of the people actually doing the work type of perspective. Yes, Amanda Spillman. Thought I'd find out some more about her. She replaced Sir William, who was seen as not really on board enough by the government, which is really odd for somebody who was like basically incredibly on board by the government. Anyway, yes, she's a minor member of the aristocracy. Her mum was a baron. I've no idea either. Yes, having gone to posh kids' school, she entered the world of finance. Yeah, sort of hedge fund manager type thingy, and ended up sort of helping to set up a chain of schools under the label of ARC. I'll post some links down below. They're quite an intriguing chain with enormously close ties to the Conservative Party. Oddly enough, and because of her vast experience about sitting around a table deciding financial issues at a group of schools, she's become head of Ofsted. Yesterday, she criticised teachers, effectively criticised teachers for concentrating on feeding children during COVID rather than educating them. And I just want to slightly kind of unpack why that may have been the case. Just slightly, okay? I'll leave aside the whole concept as to whether or not you want someone like this engaged in any form of triage. If you're involved in any sort of medical emergency with a triage, she's likely to run around and insist that any nursing staff or doctors help the people that don't need help. Which is basically what she said, was that schools shouldn't have prioritised those at greatest need, but should have kind of prioritised those at greatest need and everyone else at exactly the same time, which shows a lack of understanding what the word priority means, maybe. Anyway, for those of you that don't know, there was a number of minor scandals with the government saying that they were going to feed children who were going without school meals during the pandemic, and the response from the private sector that the government employed was truly appalling, and rightly they got hauled over the coals for it. This left schools in a situation of effectively acting in many cases as soup kitchens. Now you have to ask yourself, well, yeah, we know education's important. Yes, of course it's important. However, how can hungry kids learn anything? On a blunt level. And if, these other kids are not hungry, then should we be equally concerned with them? It's fine to say, yes, you should be, but then that's just saying, hey, you can work harder. I love it when people say I should work harder. I'll say, I think you should work harder, Miss Spielman. Yes. She has managed to come out with a number of statements over the years that do appear to show a certain level of tone deafness as to what exactly it is that teachers do. She was a woman who said that children accused of sexually assaulting their classmates should actually be allowed to stay in school with their classmates, which shows a brilliant understanding of minor issues that I have to deal with in my life, like safeguarding. Anyway, no doubt loads and loads of people will pile in saying, yes, isn't it disgusting that teachers are not teaching kids, and how come it is that those in the private sector, those who pay a great deal for education, magically get a better service? I can't really answer that without dribbling and suggesting that you need to think about that very, very slightly. We are likely to end up with yet more situations in and around Ofsted. I would think that if you want teachers to have a certain sense that the people above them giving them advice know what they're doing, that you actually appoint people that know what they're doing. Okay? Yeah? Maybe just anyone who's actually worked in a school, because we haven't had that for quite a while now. No. So Michael Winslow, he did. He worked in a school. Yeah. But, he used to say things the government didn't like, so obviously he had to go. Anyway, have a lovely day. Midweek, nearly over the hump. Nearly over the hump. Isn't that cool?